How that sound?
We should be Gucci down polo sock.
We plugged up a new a 4K camera, try to get a little bit of better quality for y'all. But I have a feeling that when we plugged it in, the audio went to the camera.
Crazy. There we go. But yeah, I was definitely terrified of your mama, man. I you can't tell me I didn't have a reason to be. I didn't even want to ask for nothing to eat, honestly.
I mean, let's be honest. My mama,
Bro,
she wasn't the nicest,
bro.
but your mama had this look about her, dog. Like you knew from looking at your mama that you don't play no games with her. Which is, I mean, it was fine. After you get to know your mama, you realize she was like one of the sweetest women in the world. But like our first impressions, he was like, "How are you?" And she'd be like, "Hi, Michael." She called me by my whole name. That was the first thing that got me.
Ain't your name Michael?
Nobody else called me Michael, but your mama and my mama when I was in trouble. So, you know what, Razvan? We was about to jump into some more. Right now, we was talking about TikTok, but tonight
we was talking about, do you discipline your children? That's the first topic.
Yeah, we got a couple of them that we want to touch base on.
That's how we got to parents.
I do have another topic I want to jump on. I was waiting on us to get a few more people in here tonight.
Let them come
but
in.
I think it's a good time to jump in.
What's up?
All right. Do you think jealousy is a sign of love or insecurity?
I don't know. That's a two-part story for me because I think jealousy consists of two different things. Jealousy can be because of love, but it's mostly from insecurities. But you could be jealous of somebody getting attention from somebody that you love, even though they are with you and you know they love you. But it's just something about it that you want that attention for you. So
right.
that might be a temporary thing when you might want that attention at that time. But that don't necessarily mean that you're insecure because you wanted the attention then and there. So it just depends on like how we trying to classify it. If I had to pick an absolute, it's a yes more than no.
You think it's more on the love side than jealousy?
No, I think it's more on the insecure side.
Or insecure?
Because, you know, I'm 100% testosterone over here. So everything that's masculine and, you know, dudes playing, that's how I'm explaining everything. And that's the definition I'm going to give for that. I think it's a weak trait, but I am fully conscious and aware that it's something that we all experience. And I have experienced different levels of it. So I have an in-depth experience of jealousy.
Okay.
So but I'm not jealous of no man, though.
So I kind of like this answer that Razvan said. He said, jealousy has to be within limits and not crazy. And I kind of agree with it. Like, I feel like jealousy is an emotion, same as being upset or being happy or anything like that. I think it's how you respond to the jealousy that either makes it be out of love or out of insecurity. Well, let's be honest. I honestly think jealousy is an insecurity trait. I think how you respond can be positive or negative, right? Because I feel like if you're secure in yourself and in the relationship or the bond that you have with that person, then you're not going to be jealous per se. I think it's when there's a lack of something, like when you're missing something.
That's fair.
That the jealousy comes in. Like if I was hanging out with another homie all the time and you was like, hey, bro, you want to go get some drinks? And I'm like, I can't tonight. I got the kids. Or I'm doing this with Glenn, or I'm hanging out with Glenn, or we're going there. Then you're going to be like, damn, man, why you always hanging out with Glenn? You can't ever make time for your boy? Right? Right. So I feel like that lack of having that time can cause you to be a little bit jealous, and you may not want to admit that you're jealous, but what it is I feel like there's a lack of something that you need, because when you're fulfilled, you can't be jealous. So I think it falls on insecurity.
So you think that jealousy is a weak trait? Looks like I said that.
I don't necessarily think it's a weak trait. I think it's a trait that just says that you're missing something at that time. Because, like, let's put it in a relationship standpoint. If your girl is always going out with her girls and she's hanging out with them all the time, but then when you like, oh, let's do something, and she's like, I'm tired, I need to sleep, I need to rest, then you gonna feel jealous, or you're gonna feel a certain type of way the next time she's like, I'm going out with the girls tonight. Like, you're gonna be like, dang, why you can't spend time with me, but you can find time to spend with them, and vice versa.
Right. But excuse me, oh my Lord.
So I just feel like it's not necessarily a weak trait. It's just, it shows that there is a lack of something in the relationship that you're having, whether it's with a spouse or with a friend or somebody that you want a stronger relationship or a stronger bond in some way that you're not getting.
Yeah, but that's jealousy explained in a logical sense. Like, that should be common sense. Nobody shouldn't be. If you got jealousy outside of that, you might want to reevaluate what you got going on, because your jealousy is gonna turn into something else. I mean, I wouldn't say. I mean, every now and then I might have some form of jealousy. I don't think I experienced the one where you maybe you were spending some time with somebody else and I was feeling some type of way about it.
But but I also feel like all of my friends know me, and so, like, they realize that I have limited amount of time, and that limited amount of time I try to spread as much as I can. But, Razvan says he agreed that's friends jealousy, but relationship jealousy is different, because crazy jealousy, girlfriend can get to levels of crazy. He says it's not a weak trait, but it depends on what limits is used.
Well, let me specify when I say weak. Razwan, I got a very selective vocabulary. So when I say it's weak, it is Duran's vocabulary. That's what we call it. We have a whole dictionary for me. So
he kind of speak his own language sometimes.
So when I say weak, I'm not saying it's weak, but I'm saying to me, to define my feelings towards jealousy is not something that I particularly, acknowledge and go forward with. But I'm well aware of the effects and how we can get to it. So that's to everybody, though.
I will say this: I'm thankfully lucky enough to not have to ever have dealt with a jealous girlfriend. Maybe a jealous ex at some point, and she tried to mess some things up for me, but never like a jealous girlfriend where I'm in a relationship and I'm scared to end it, or I feel like I can't end it because she might do some crazy stuff.
Yeah, I feel that.
But Razvan, you sound like you talking from experience, man.
Oh no, that's all bad. Oh, I don't think I really ever had no crazy ass girlfriends.
I looked at you for a second because I was like,
I wanted
you
to think about it because I was really thinking. I don't think I have, because I ain't did nothing. Nobody ain't never been like vindictive and came back and tried to do nothing. So at the end of the day,
oh man, Razvan, I would love to have you come on and tell this story. If you got space or if you can, we could send you a link and you can jump in tonight.
We oh no, I wouldn't say that for you neither. I mean, I know of a potential potential incident, but that wasn't nothing. That was child's play.
I know that's right. He said, what's that? I'm married and happy.
That's right.
And you want to stay that way.
You don't want no complications. We understand.
Well, it's all good.
What else you got? Because you said you had a few questions. And jealousy, I'm just like, I know people have been jealous, the kind that we all can relate to, or is common knowledge, is the jealousy where somebody is jealous because you got something or because you made it somewhere. And experiencing that jealousy is crazy. So I have experienced that or been on the other side of that. Like, bro, what are you talking about? Like, if If I got it, you got it. So if we cool, you know what I'm saying? It shouldn't have to be explained, or if I got to give a definition or a reason why. It's kind of like they want to take credit for what you did.
I don't feel like I have anybody who in my life who don't want to see the best for us. So
No.
Hey, look, I know that's right. No complications. So now that we're talking about like no complications, have you and your wife ever had like a big disagreement where you feel like have y'all had a big disagreement first? Because I was talking with somebody the other day and he was telling me like him and his fiance have never had a big disagreement, like a big argument, nothing. And he was just saying like it's just easy. Right? They talk everything out. They don't have arguments, none of that. And asked me if I felt like that was a problem.
You go ahead, because I got something to say about that.
No, go ahead.
No, if you've never, let me put this out there. I'm gonna put my phone down because I'm doing multitasking. So for one, I'm gonna look directly at the camera. If you have a relationship and you are married, or you have a fiance, or you in the boyfriend and girlfriend stages, and you've never had an argument, y'all never fought, you got to get out of there.
Why?
Because you don't know what that person look like when they under duress or stress. I'm not saying that it's not healthy to talk everything out. Talk everything out. Don't ever yell at nobody and raise your voice. But let's be realistic. We are humans, and people raise their voice when they get upset or they're trying to prove a point, especially when there's feelings involved. Feelings is like a bomb, a nuclear bomb that you can hold in your hands. And whenever you get upset, you squeeze it, and it's just firing off all this radiation. So now you got toxicity in the place. See what I did there? So you have to be toxic with your partner so you can understand what level they are at. Because realistically, just talking to and me and my wife never got into it, and we just talk all the time. I probably wouldn't have married her because I don't know what it looks like when you get upset. I don't know how you handle that. Some people might crash out, and you'll never know.
Hold on, you say you gotta be toxic with her?
No, I said you gotta have a disagreement so you can know how she handles trouble or stress. Everything can't be peachy keen because somebody might have flight or fight, and they might choose flight, and you wouldn't have known that. You would have known had you saw how they acted beforehand. Some people do good and they don't argue and they just don't do that. But realistically, people get upset. It's in your nature.
Razvan said it's peace and quiet at his home. Couldn't ask for a better wife. He also said they bicker, but not a lot. We just find a common ground and move on.
Yeah, must be nice because you gotta have them moments. It's gonna happen someday, one day or another, because you got kids, you got bills, people get worn out from work, people get upset, and you could be the happiest person. Generally, I like to think I'm the happiest person ever. Some would beg to differ, but it's times where you get into a disagreement and you just not going to agree with that other person. It's just physically not possible. And I know for a fact, knowing you, and just let's cut our wives out the situation. Just me and you going back and forth. Like people should already know. Obviously, we got some affinity, but it's been times I've disagreed with you to the severest point, and that didn't change how I felt about what we got going on. But we just didn't agree whatsoever. That's one of the things that helped develop our friendship, because now I know if something go down or I do something wrong, that you're gonna tell me how it is,
even if you disagree with it,
and we gonna move on.
So I mean, we've had those situations before. I will say in almost all of the relationships that I have right now, I've gotten into a disagreement with them, and I've seen how it's been handled on their end and on my end, like when they're wrong or when I'm wrong. And I feel like if they're wrong, everybody can, like the people who are wrong have been able to apologize for being wrong.
Right. Makes sense.
And that's what makes the difference for me. It's like if I'm working with somebody who can't acknowledge that they were wrong ever, that's what throws me off. And I guess even with like me and my wife and our disagreements. First off, I will say our biggest disagreements didn't really start kicking in until we had kids. I felt like when it was just me focused on her and her focused on me and ourselves, essentially, it was a lot easier not to argue. But then when you start bringing in kids, you start looking at like your upbringing and her upbringing and how to blend what y'all learned from that. And sometimes they don't agree. Like sometimes my wife is like, you being too hard on the girls. And other times I'm like, listen, these girls are soft and they need to go through something so that they don't break whenever hard times come through. Like, yes, you told them not to jump off the couch.
Yeah.
They decide to jump off the couch and they twisted their ankle. Do not get up and baby them. What you need to do at this point is go, didn't I tell you not to jump off that couch? Yes. All right. Now go ahead and get the ace bandage and wrap your leg up. Like, do something of that nature. Don't just immediately run to them and pick them up and bake. So I feel like that's where most of our disagreements fell on, was once we had kids.
Right.
Ooh, let's just say we both had crazy exes. We don't want that anymore. And we found each other. We love peace and quiet. Communication is the key. That is true. I feel like communication is a big piece of it, and understanding and knowing how to communicate like adults, right? You don't have to yell, you don't have to curse, you don't have to do all of that to get your point across. And I think we've talked about this before too. Like, me and Brittany have gotten into arguments where, like, naturally, I feel like for me as a man, I'm so calm 90% of the time that when I get passionate about something, my voice tends to rise some. And sometimes she sees that as like me yelling, and I'm like, I'm not yelling. I'm just expressing my point. Like, you'll know if I'm yelling. You've heard me yell. But because I'm talking to her in that passion, it comes off as yelling. So sometimes I have to check myself on that. But I've never called her out her name, never had to like curse her out, never any of that. Because at the end of the day, that's my wife. Like, I can't call you this and that and this and that and then turn around and tell you I love you. Like, it just don't make sense. Same way, like, even in my relationship with friends, like, there's certain things I can't say. And like, I'll be talking to my wife sometimes, like, man, I feel like a bad friend. And she's like, why? And I'm like, because I'm tired and I don't feel like going to this, or I don't feel like doing that. And I know it's going to piss him off. And she's just like, just explain that. And then when I say something, I'm like, damn, I could have just communicated that, and that would have been a whole lot easier than just me stressing over this. So like Rosman say, I think communication is the key. He said, blend is good, but I learned that wife comes first, kids second, because with no wife, there's no family. Also, the dad is the most important father figure, so we got to be a little extra. Yeah. I mean, I feel like in both girls and boys, when you have kids, having that male presence plays a big part in their upbringing. You notice having boys. I notice having girls. We live in two different perspectives, but you can see where your boys would go wrong if you wasn't in their presence in their life, and I can definitely see where my girls would go wrong if I wasn't a presence. And no mother can be a dad. I 100% believe that, as much as you want to. Yeah, I remember that, Rosman. Me and Rosman had a lot of these talks in Liberty. So I don't know if I told you, me and Rosman. So I hired Rosman when I worked out in Liberty for the last bank I worked for.
You told me.
So yeah, don't matter if it's boys or girls. Mom nurtures, dad teaches them reality.
That's interesting.
How so? You don't agree or you do agree?
No, I agree. I just said that's interesting how you said it.
I like it. Cause like dads have to sometimes pull back, but ultimately it's our job to prepare them for the world. And the world ain't nice. Let's just be honest. The world will eat you up and spit you out. So as a dad, we have to prepare our kids for that. Moms have to prepare them for the more gentle side of understanding that everybody ain't out to get you, but we got to prepare them for understanding the difference of who is out to get you and who is here for you and who's putting that mask on and how to really survive in this world.
That's true. I do want to clarify that I don't yell at my wife and I don't curse at her and I don't commit the physical of the violence. I felt like that needed to be put out there. Nor do I believe that you should have 100% like toxicity. And my relationship is definitely one of the better relationships. I respect my wife greatly. But with that being said, I'm still of the belief that you need to have those arguments with your wife, and that can come in many different forms. So even however you want to dress it up, bickering, a talk, you still having a disagreement with somebody because you got two different perspectives that you coming from. You're wanting this to be understood, and she's wanting this to be understood, and you guys aren't touching base. So communication is the key. And but in that communication, some things get lost in translation. I'm on fire tonight. But yeah, I just want to clarify that and put that out there. Be like that. Also, we see you out here, T-Pain in the building. Boy out here doing his thing. Definitely I think us together have grown into these men that hold each other accountable for these things. So if you was the type to yell at a woman and do something that I disagree with, I would say something to you about it.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have a problem. And worst case scenario, we're gonna move some furniture. But at the end of the day, it's still gonna be that love.
So that's what I consider like real brotherhood, is holding your brothers accountable, right?
Right.
And I tell Brittany that all the time. Like, I do not have friends who don't take care of their kids. I do not have friends who are cheating on their wives or cheating on their, like, that's just, if I'm not gonna do it, I'm not gonna have you in my circle doing it.
That's right.
And I know you clarified it, but like Razwan said, you don't look like that type of guy. I appreciate the compliment, Razwan. He said, you hang out with Michael. He's one of the best people I know. He chooses people wisely. I try to surround myself with good people. Even on my social media, I keep good people, positive people on there. At least on my personal page. I got my throwaway page that I got everybody on.
He said my throwaway.
My throwaway page.
I guess a gun. He got
that's
a throwaway.
The one I asked everybody who. But if you on my personal page, like, yeah, that for me says. And Razwan, you are on my personal page. T-Pain, you on my personal page.
Of course,
but
T-Pain
that tells
on the
me like
page.
we've gotten to the point where I've seen what you do, and I acknowledge that you are a positive impact in my life. Even if I don't comment or say much, because I really don't on social media, but like it's different for me. I take it a little bit different than some people. Like, I don't really care about followers or all of that. I look at your character and who you are.
Hey, I just want to put this out there for while we talk about topics. We go back with T-Pain super hardcore because my man was rocking the fitted cap and a do-rag back in the day.
Wow.
Every time you seen him, that boy had that hat and that do-rag on.
Yeah.
Never did not have it. That boy to take it off for nothing. It don't matter what class we was in. That boy kept that mug on. He didn't care. He was so cool. My man just chilling up in the background. And I do want to clarify, I will never play knuckles with you ever in my life again. Never.
ever.
Never.
Friends with bad influences are going to bring you down. So choosing wisely is the best way to keep your life positive. True. And
unfortunately, while we on that subject, friendships go sour. So you can't control how other people do things in their lives or what they interpret or how life hits them. So sometimes people change.
So at what point do you have to let a friendship go? I guess is the question, because part of being a friendship is like being there for that person when they at their highs and when they at their lows, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so at what point do you say, like, I can't do this anymore?
Sometimes you don't even necessarily got to say that you can't do it. You just got to treat it like an app and pause it sometimes. And then when they get their life together, if they swing back around, then maybe we can revisit it. But yeah, I'm a big believer in not putting too much stress and putting too much on yourself. So part of that comes from me having my own peace of mind. I got enough going on upstairs. I don't need nothing else contributing to that. So the fact that I would let somebody drag me to that point under the pretenses that we friends. If you was friends, you would care about how what you doing is affecting me. And so that's why, like, growing up, and I can't speak for you, you're an old man, but I'm real loose on that word friends, because I'm like, man, you can say you my friend all day. I could dap you up in the hallway every day, waving my hand, hey buddy, how you doing at work? But that don't mean I'm cool with you. And it ain't that I'm trying to be something I'm not. It's just that I just know how I am, and I don't want to bring somebody into my life and you jacked up and you bring a barrel of feelings and emotions to me. I don't want that.
Hey, that's my boy. Hey, Rosman said we should do a live with T-Pain and do a series of the crazy things you guys did.
No, we can't do that. That's some of that stuff.
Hey, that was 4 years of high school stuff.
Yeah,
like,
that's some of that stuff redacted.
Woo.
It's blacked out. So it'd be like watching listening to the Kids Bop album.
It's just all edited.
Right.
We can't say these certain things that happen because it still might incriminate us.
The story go all the way over there.
So I asked this question though. Let's jump back to it. I asked the question because 4 years sound like a good 20 episodes. I asked the question because I've had some people that I feel like I've had to cut off before, right?
Mm-hmm.
More specifically, I had somebody who I felt like was a real good friend. And he got married and changed.
Ooh, explain that.
Right. And marriage, I feel like, is supposed to bring the better out of you. But like, he was in the army beforehand. We met when I was like 17. So we had known each other for a minute. We hung out quite a bit. Like, he was super cool. Joined the army, like, held each other down. He went, to his tours. Well, no tours, but he went to training, and then he went out to Alaska for a few years and then came back. And like, every time we were making sure we hung out and things like that. Him and my wife were cool. When he got with his wife, I don't know if they're still married or not, but when he got with her, like, we met her, we tried to make it work out. She said some things that triggered us. Like, the biggest thing she said that made my wife look at her sideways was, she was like, oh, black. First off, she wasn't black. And she said, black people are.
I'm confused. I'm diffused, as my family like to say. I thought we were talking about a man.
Yeah, we're talking about his wife.
Okay, so right, the man's wife,
yes,
said something to your wife.
So she said something to us and about black people, and we looked at her like, what?
Black people?
And then she said, oh, but I'm not talking about y'all. Y'all are the good ones. And we looked at him and we saw him, like, you could tell that he was scared we were about to say something.
He was embarrassed.
And I looked at my wife and I said, let's let it go. Let's let it go. So
We'll
and
talk about that.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so we let it go, but I addressed it with him later. He apologized. We thought we had it fixed or whatever. But then over the years, we just saw more and more like she would keep saying little sly things. And eventually it got to the point where, oh man, what happened? He, that's what happened.
Was it ever him though?
It was him. The
So
reason the reason I ended the friendship was him because he went behind my back and he was married at the time and he tried to talk to another woman that I was really close to. And I found out about it. And when I addressed it to him, I said, "Hey, I heard you're like trying to talk to this person. And like I trusted you to introduce you to this person. And then you turn around and try to talk to her and cheat on your wife with this person." And his response was, "I've already addressed this with my wife. I don't want to address this again." And I said, "Okay, I understand you addressed it with your wife, but I feel like we need to have a conversation." And he said, "No, I don't want to address it again." And so for me, I felt like, okay, you don't have enough respect for me at this point. So why are we continuing this friendship? So I have literally not said a word to this guy in over a decade now because I felt like the person he talked to, he crossed the boundary with me, and because it was family. So you try to cheat on your wife with my family, and then you don't want me to address it with you. First off, for us to be friends, my family should be off limits. But if you were trying to talk to somebody in my family, you should come to me and be like, "Hey, I like your so and so," and then like address that. So I felt like there was too many lines of disrespect that was crossed, and I had to cut that relationship off. And like he probably reached out to me 3 years ago, and reached out to my wife too, and was like, "Hey, how y'all been? I haven't heard from y'all. What's going on?" And I just kind of let it go because I'm like, ain't no point in digging up graves that's already buried. Like, ain't nothing good coming from that. But like, I just find it crazy because at some point, when do you cut that relationship off, or do you just work through that?
nah, I ain't no working through that for that because you'll drive yourself crazy trying to please somebody that ain't really for you. And like I said, sometimes relationships change. People grow up and they experience things without you. So while friendship could be lovely and be nurturing and blossoming, they could also turn up thorns. And you grow stuff in the garden, you got to spray stuff on the plants so that it don't go bad. Other stuff don't start gnawing on it and eating on it. So it's the same thing with a friendship. You can't control what get on the friendship, and sometimes the friendship get distorted, and you gotta let it go, bro. You gotta let it breathe.
So where's that line at? Because I feel like
It's not a
we
specific.
also got friends who are like down bad right now, and
It's
you want to support them,
it's
but
not
it's like
it's not a specific line. That's why I'm not answering that because it's you literally move out the way. You got to move out. You sometimes you can become somebody's stumbling block because you're trying to be helpful.
damn.
You got to move, and I can't do nothing. If I constantly keep helping you every time something happen, you never experience it. So technically, it's like you cut yourself, and I put a band-aid on it. And every time you cut yourself, I keep putting a band-aid on it. But what are you learning if I always fix it for you? So I do my kids the same way. I tell you once or twice, don't do something like how we talked about. That discipline. That's what people need is discipline. You need friendship discipline. You need discipline. If I correct you every time something happens, you'll never learn. You'll never feel anything from it.
Okay, but you're talking about stepping out the way. I'm
Mm.
talking about stepping out the picture.
Nah, that's what I'm saying. You don't have to step out the picture. You can just move yourself out the way and let them do that. Because then, like you said, you see, you cut off old boy, you stop talking to him, and then inadvertently he reached out and tried to hit you up, but you decided well, I'm not gonna rehash old things because I feel like that person didn't change. So you just let it go. So technically, you did both. You cut them off and you took a step back. I'm just saying I'm on the side of just taking a step back versus completely cutting somebody off. Now, to our viewers that's watching now, I have expressed or talked about a situation where I did cut somebody off completely. Like I was talking to him one day, the next day I ain't saying nothing to him. It's been like 2 years. I ain't said nothing else, and I had to do that because you got to establish. This is gonna be a Duran's vocabulary thing, Rosbon. So don't take it the wrong way. You got to establish dominance, and if you don't establish dominance, you ain't doing nothing. You're not getting your point across. Straight up. And then for you, he was saying some stuff that I would have did the same thing in your situation. But for me, the person I knew, like I helped them, been there, supported them, whatever. And in that instance, they was talking to me like I ain't never did nothing, or they wanted to try to pull a card. So I had to pull the card back. Like I don't do stuff for favors. I do stuff out of my heart, and I'm genuine. So if I do it for you, I'm not keeping track of everything I did. You know what I did. But on that same token, if you're gonna turn around and throw it in my face and then try to like one up me and say you above me and you're not, that's crazy. And then telling me what to do as a grown man is crazy. So we was hitting a lot of things that was bad. So at that point, if you ain't gonna throw hands, it's either I stop talking to you or you gonna get these skippity
My boy
paps.
keeps turning to violence. So
that's Duran.
So here's the thing, New Bill, and I'm not gonna lie, I call all the New Bills New Bills. So
yeah,
New Bill said, "What did the girls think?" If we're talking about wives in this situation,
as far as what?
So in that situation with me and that old friend, right? If we're talking about wives, I honestly, his wife found out, and that's the only reason that he stopped talking to this family member. And this happened probably like a month and a half beforehand. So when I found out and I told my wife was like, "Yeah, you need to go see him in person." But at that point, he lived 2.5 hours away. So it just made it a little bit harder for us to like link up as easily. But like Kelsey said, some people are seasonal friends, and that's fine. The issue with me is for a lot of times when I call people a friend, it's hard to say it's seasonal. Like I have associates, I have people who are there for a purpose to help me grow, and I'm there potentially to help them grow. Those are what I consider associates. And then I have people I work with or people I know, plain and simple. But if I call you a friend, like I feel like we have developed a relationship that I could see us being cool the rest of our lives, right? Being a part of each other's lives. And that's what makes it hard for me when I call somebody a friend. And I mean, and I'll be honest, it even got to the point where like this guy was my daughter's godfather.
That's crazy.
My oldest daughter's godfather. So that hurt it even more because I was like, we were like close.
But so you understand what I'm saying then?
Yeah.
Because I would not tell you, I was talking to this person literally at like 10 o'clock at night. At 1 o'clock the next day, I ain't never said nothing to that man again for 2 years. Because I feel like I owe you skippity paps.
But did he know why?
Yeah, he know. I told him. And you know me. And to the viewers, y'all get to know us through watching the podcast. If I have to come out of my character, if I had to step outside myself for you, I'm done with you. I'm upset. And you know that's a big no-no for me. I don't do that. I gotta talk to myself. I'd be like, self, bring it back. That's not even you. You shouldn't have did that. Yeah. So I'm just like, it is what it is, though. I don't feel bad about it because I know what I did. And I'm like, you gonna tell me that I wasn't genuine or I wasn't cool, or when you was down bad, I didn't put none of your business out there. I didn't spread none of that. I didn't do nothing. And because of whatever feelings or whatever you had going on in your head, you thought that you could speak to me or tell me something in a certain capacity. I'm not a child. I got children. If you want to tell somebody what to do, go play with your kids.
Right. We adults out here.
Yeah.
Which I guess brings me into this next question, since we're talking about kids.
See.
Um
Hey, my jawline look immaculate in this camera. No, I'm scared.
yeah. Hey, them gym days is working out for us. So I guess my next question is it worth it to stay in a unfulfilling relationship because of kids?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Man, you answered that real fast.
Yep,
Why?
I hate that. I hate people that do that. Hate is a strong word. I'm sorry. God don't like that. I dislike people who make that decision. Don't put nothing on your kids. The world try to do enough of that as it is. If you're not happy with that person's, parent, move on. Don't. Why are you staying there? You putting yourself through unnecessary trauma. You giving yourself PTSD.
Damn.
And as far as relationships, it ain't. I don't know, because I done seen some crazy stuff with this new age dating, and I'm like, I can believe you put up with that.
As quick as you said no, the comments lit up with nope, nope, nope,
No,
absolutely not.
No, because who want to do that? Like, what? That is not fun.
So
it's nothing you can say.
So, hold on, but okay, so I'm playing devil's advocate here, right? Because we're saying you're staying in this relationship just for the kids, but the whole thing about love is that you are falling in love with this person in that season of their life. And sometimes the kids may be the glue that keep you together until you're able to do that again. Because I feel like in today's society, it's so easy to just give up on something because you don't feel like it's serving you a purpose right now.
So I'm gonna reiterate what I said. I ain't putting nothing on my kids because why? That's the problem, is we always trying to put something on kids. Kids ain't got nothing to do with grown up decisions. When we was doing stuff growing up and we came downstairs and our mama and daddy and them was doing stuff, what they tell us?
Take your ass back upstairs.
Because grown folks down here.
Grown folks talking.
I ain't grown. So now that I'm grown, I'm all in the building. But when I was younger, I went back upstairs.
But what I'm saying is, like, I'm not saying put it on the kids, but I'm saying in this instance, sometimes those kids are the thing that's holding you together until you can pull yourself back together.
Yeah, but why go through that and why do that? Because then you creating a basis of love, not off of y'all reconnecting, but because of something y'all have in common. So a common thing is the children. So y'all building that off of y'all kids.
Yeah, but when we talk about a relationship, especially a long-term relationship, let's just put it in most terms. Let's say most people are getting married around 25 to 30. Okay. So if we're looking at that age range, right? When you get married, you're not going to be that same person when you're 35 to 40. Right. So you have to relearn how to love this person at where they are. And then in another 5 to 10 years, you're not going to be the same person again. And sometimes when that person is changing or finding who they are, especially when you add being a parent into the picture and trying to figure out who you are as a mother and a wife and as yourself individually, I feel like you lose some aspects, and the kids are what's holding that together sometimes until you can figure out who you are and what y'all relationship truly is.
Now, in that aspect, that's something completely different to me than what you just said, because yes, that does happen. And that's something you establish with somebody that you already got. You're not trying to get a divorce or nothing like that. But what we are initially saying is, do you just take the kids and put them in the forefront? Like, okay, let's just keep doing what we doing for the kids. Yeah. What you talking about is like you already together and then somebody lost their identity. And so we weren't talking about losing the identity.
I do feel like a lot of times when relationships fail and they're standing together for the kids, it's because they lost who they were as a couple. And it's either because one person focused more on themselves than the other, or because they focused on the kids more than the relationship.
Right, but that's still something different, because if somebody not compatible or you can have kids with somebody, it don't matter if you married or not. If you was never for that person to begin with and you stand there for the kids, I think that's the one that we all are stuck on. It's not that you've been with somebody and then they begin to change or develop. Yes, sir. We already know. Thanks for tapping in.
We appreciate it. We're gonna try to start earlier next week.
But yeah, that's different. If you already with somebody and then they lose themselves in that. But if you saying we just stand together for the kids, and I'm just talking, or we we just had kids at a young age or whatever stage we at, I'm not gonna stay with you for the kids because I feel like that's not optimal. I need to be building my love or my rapport or finding my way back to you on my own. The qualities that you possess. So this goes for this scenario and for the one where you're talking about if 40, you turn 40, y'all look up, live your life for the kids, been the greatest parents of all time. You have to be in love with that individual, and you have to understand where they're coming from. You have to understand the development they may have had and the development they may have missed, or the unfulfilledness that they might feel. So you have to learn how to navigate that through them. So your kids should never be involved in that process because you are a parent first and foremost. Well, you are a husband first and foremost, and then you're a parent. So it's an order that's supposed to happen. So y'all should be fixing that on your own without the kids being involved. Now, I will say, can the kids get involved? It depends. But I don't think kids should be in that situation, or that the kids should be that, because I just look at the relationships I see people have with their kids now, and they be involved in way too much. They shouldn't know all that. They shouldn't know about your dating life, where you going, what you doing, who you calling, why you upset, why you fighting, and this, that, and the third. Stay in a child's place.
So Rosvan says, don't put the kids in it. It's going to create more problems and they'll grow up based on toxic parents. A toxic relationship and marriage is going to affect the kids in the long run. He's a kid of divorced parents, noticed things, even though they did great, but still figured out things weren't right. Kelsey says kids can always tell when things aren't right.
Right. They know.
But I don't think every situation is toxic.
I didn't say it was toxic. Right? I just said
I've seen some of the best parents.
I get what you're saying.
I don't want to throw nobody out there.
Then don't do that.
I specifically have a couple right now that I know, if they didn't have kids, would not be together.
And I get that happens, but I'm still on the side of that shouldn't be the focal point. I'm not gonna change on that.
It shouldn't, but I'm saying that in some situations
it can become that.
That's what keeps them bonded right now until they can find or figure it out between each other, right? Because sometimes the last strands of what you're holding on to is that bond, and them kids doing what's best for your kids might be that last strand of like, I know we're not working out right now, but I know that my significant other is going to do what she needs to do for our kids, and I'm the same way. So we're going to figure this out right now until we can figure us out.
Right. So here's the thing about that, because I want people to know how stern I am about it. When you do that, you are successfully setting yourself up for co-parenting and divorce. When you are married, there is no compromise where you have to just think that that's your focal point. You have to make that your focal point. First and foremost, you're an adult. We push therapy on this podcast. So if you are at that point, you should be going to therapy. Don't put that on your kids.
Oh no!
Don't sit there and use them as an excuse. Because to me, as I said before, that's another weak emotion. You should never get to a point where you got to make them like that. What does it happen? Yes, I understand. We humans, we get to that situation, we get to that point. Sometimes that is your beacon or your way out. And some people have successfully repaired their marriage based off of that. But I do not approve of that, because then what happens when the next fallout comes? You're going to put that back on your kids and say, well, let's just focus on what they got going on until we can revisit us. Love hurts. If that's why you got to be careful who you get in a relationship with and who you marry. And this is why I said you need to get in a fight with the person that you're marrying, because you're going to know if they built for tough or not.
You got to bring a little toxicity so we can figure out how are you going to fight or flight?
If I raise my voice and you fall out on the floor like I slapped you, then it's not going to work. All of us that's on the podcast, listeners and the people that's performing the podcast can honestly say we've seen plenty of situations where our parents tried to mask something and we seen through it anyway, or you just knew the atmosphere of the house.
Look, Rosman said it there. Let's just say my parents did amazing and tried to work it out, and it didn't work out. But look where I ended up in Missouri with a wonderful wife, Rosvan. Don't forget that part.
Excuse me, I keep yawning. I'm sorry.
It turned out really good for you.
And it does. And, they should be thankful for that because it could have went south. A lot of people grow up, like you said, and they don't know that they need therapy because first and foremost, it's not something that is pushed or put out there, but you don't really sit down and take the time. Like you told me, sit down and take the time and look at the things you do or look at some of the stuff you've been through. It's not so you can break down, but look, case in point, I ain't saying no names or nothing, but
it is a big travel.
We just had a situation where I just seen a whole young man lose his life in front of my face, younger than me. People are like, oh, whatever. No,
they acted like it was normal.
Yeah, desensitized. You need to go to therapy over that. That boy didn't even see past 25, and I'm 34. That was crazy to see. So seeing something like that should make you feel some type of way or be grateful that wasn't you.
Yeah,
because tomorrow not promised. So what I'm saying is, when you have that situation where you are not liking or y'all not vibing or whatever you want to call it with your boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, fiance, then you need to take a step back and y'all need to go to therapy. Y'all need to go find ways to get involved with each other versus trying to just say, hey, let's put our kids first and we'll do that. Anything else comes second. That's not a second nature because one, you out of line in how a marriage should operate, right?
Right.
And ideally, you want y'all to be in the forefront because if y'all not functioning, how y'all gonna take care of y'all kids? I mean, it happens, but let's be real here. How y'all gonna take care of y'all kids? And
like you said, when you put the kids first, I feel like you're setting yourself up for co-parenting. But when you put your spouse first, you're setting yourself up for leading by example, right? So when you and your spouse are working together to create a fortified front and then raise y'all kids together, that's different than each of us trying to raise our kids separately at the same time. And a lot of people do that.
Yeah, you got an egocentric relationship. It's two egos and nobody don't want to step down. Battle is like that though. When you battling, the objective is to crush your opponent. So you don't want to back down and show a sign of weakness. And we get like that. It's in our nature. Everybody do it. You don't want to admit that you was wrong because the other person is gonna be like, I told you so, or see, you did do that. Nobody don't want to hear that. That's just my hot take on that situation. Keep leaning on my hair, man.
We gotta cut it off.
No.
Let's hit your list of questions. What you got? What you got for us? Because I got a lot more I can ask, but a lot of mine are deeper. Pause.
Oh, know what you mean by that, sir. Mine ain't really nothing. We ain't on all that. I guess while we on this topic, we can get into do you think the age of getting married is over? Like growing up, getting a house, American dream, white picket fence,
I don't think it's over. I think what it looks like has changed. I think with our don't
say that.
I can't even say with just I feel like our generation may have been one of the last generations to try to follow in the steps of what they told us of like get married, have kids, or get married, get a house, have kids, whatever. Like, I feel like that was our generation might have been the one that was 50-50 with that for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't feel like a lot of these new generations are actually caring to follow through with that. Like, they might get married, but they might not. They might have kids first. They might buy a house. That, like, I don't see the marriage rate going down, but I also don't see the divorce rate going down because I think newer generations are getting married before they actually know people.
Man, I see relationships take a turn for the worse because everybody just living together, shacking up, just up in the same crib. 5-10 years go by, and you like, boy, what the tartar sauce y'all got going on up in here? I literally know a lady who just now getting married, and she 40, and they've been together for over 10 years because they got a 10-year-old kid, and then before that, I think they dated for a couple months. So like, what was the purpose in waiting? Like, you waiting for an eternity? Like, bro, you didn't know she was the one. You just been doing stuff, and that's where I say, don't put stuff on your kids, because I feel like they've got into parent mode, and they was like, hey, we gonna just raise our daughter, and boom, that's it. Then you look up, blink of an eye, decade went by. Now you like, shh, boy. Now I was like, just asking. I wasn't really like trying to provoke the answer, but I was like, so why get married now? And it was like, oh, because
it ain't nothing else to do.
You might as well go ahead and do it. It's been so long.
Jesus.
So, and then you already know what I'm about to say next. They was like, yeah, we about to hit the courthouse. Not frowning on courthouse weddings, but that's gonna be their big Shazam, the courthouse. And I was like, a wedding is really just for you to flex and to show people you found somebody you like, get a whole bunch of stuff you like and that y'all want, and everybody else just get to come. It's like a free party.
Roswan said, yes, over in his opinion, people nowadays are Netflix and chill people. Also, there's no more bars people go to, no more people meeting through friends. The times we live through are done. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, I've discovered, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you good.
I've discovered it is an alarming amount of people on these dating apps. And these dating apps, like, you got some success stories, but I'm gonna give that a 2% out of 100 because the other stuff that I hear from this stuff be super crazy. You have got to protect yourself, and that is the instant way for you to turn feelings off towards humans in general, because that stuff be wild. I be acting up too. I'd be ready to shank somebody.
I will say, everybody who I know who's been on dating apps, I don't know many who have had successful stories. Right.
Like, and then you get the ones that start out extra good. They extra nice. They do everything. We just taking it slow.
Yep.
And then you get that first 48
locked in the basement.
It's like, I don't know. Everything was fine until it wasn't.
But then like,
the picture turned gray and white. I was like, yo, what happened? I just gotta block my number from them, and I think I'm gonna have to move. You have to move.
I mean, I feel like it's just there's no safe dating app,
bro.
Right?
You
when
just
Christian Mingle got people who ain't Christian jumping on there to try to meet people. When you got black people meet who when it ain't black people on there, like, you just like, people don't care. They gonna be on the app because they want to be on the app. They're going to try to get what they want out of there. But I also think people ain't being real with themselves. They get on this app and they make themselves sound better than they actually are.
You know,
when in reality, they know, I will cut somebody if they break my heart. I will slash 3 of your 4 tires if you make me mad. But if you literally put your transgressions of who you really are on your online dating profile,
if you put your real feelings on there, you know you ain't getting no play. That's what that's about, bro. I know somebody who put cement in her boyfriend's gas tank. Do you know the level of dedication you got to have as a female to do that? Because first of all, you got to mix cement.
You got to mix cement. Then you got to get a funnel and try to pour it in there.
Then you got to catch them slipping. So you methodically plan this out for what? What are we accomplishing?
Right. See, but that's what it is. You make a front and get things done, and that's it. And when you meet people in real person, in real life,
real person, a real person view.
I feel like when you meet people in real life, they get to see at least more of that. My thing is, and this is just me personally, people have just, online is such easy access. You like as a man, you don't even have to approach a woman anymore. You can just swipe left online or swipe right online if you like them or don't like them. And then if they swipe left or right, you'll ping, oh, we match. And then now you just go into talking your crazy shit instead of actually being clever and approaching them and introducing yourself and trying to like impress them and get to know them from the get go.
And even after meeting somebody online, let's be real here, because they went on there with ulterior motives, which is clearly for sex. That's where everything goes south.
It's not just sex. Some people want to read the Bible with each other.
It's sex. So
Christian
they go in
mingle.
there and they have sex, and that's the problem. Now that person know where you live. Y'all know what y'all do. Y'all basically just sneaky links at this point. Like, for what? If that person probably having sex with another person because they still on the app. They just got you, so you become the new plaything until they find something else a little bit more dazzling, or they use you.
I didn't even
now
think
you
of that.
broken. Now you broke. Because
Rosman said you could use AI now and do all of that, like do the chatting, do the profile.
Oh, that's crazy.
Deuteronomy chapter 2, verse 17. What does it say, Duran?
First off, I don't know why you selected Deuteronomy chapter 2, verse 17. Second off, they ain't reading that. I can tell you that for a fact.
Look, you gotta start at the beginning. Most of these people on Christian Mingle know the first few verses of Genesis.
They don't even know.
In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth, and then they be like, "How are you today? You want to have sex?" Like, damn, you ain't even get to the part where He made humans.
No, they don't even get to that part. And then, like, the shortest verse in the Bible is Jesus wept. I bet you they can't tell you where that's at.
They can't say. They just like, I know it's somewhere in the Bible, but Jesus wept, and I'm pretty sure it was because me and you ain't together. Like, damn, girl.
Like, yo, like, stop. Just stop. I know
wish...
Christian Mingle destroyed so many people. It's crazy. And so did blackpeoplemeet.com. All the ones that was on the infomercial TV or, on TV when we was growing up, they get thrown in the same category as Miss Cleo.
The world was created. Want to get down?
God said, "Be fruitful and multiply." I'm trying to multiply.
They using the ones that. Hey, look. I know you just saw. I was talking to somebody else, but like Abraham had 4 wives. Be like, hold on, what?
Wait a minute. Sir.
Hold on, what's happening here?
Wait a minute, sir. There's a story behind this.
Be fruitful and multiply. You're not gonna have 23 babies with me, are you? Might as well let me. Like, dang, man.
I'm dead. But yeah, man, I just can't. I think it's over with. People love dating. I see these little kids when we go to the gym and they love relationship, and I'm like, man, I wonder how strong it really is. Like, how is it? What we really doing? I ain't trying to say.
I feel like a lot of those are stronger than the ones in adults, because those kids at the gym, like, they go to school together. They a lot of them met in person, or they grew up with each other, and so it's a different type of relationship. Like, they might be young, but I feel like it's stronger than those people who are like, oh, I'm gonna send you a quick message and then 2 days later I'm gonna write you again, and then like, that just never sits well with me, that I'm waiting on a response from you. Because if I write, first off, I'm glad I don't have to date in this time. But if I ever had to, and we're in an app, we're not messaging in this app, right? We are not messaging in this app. I'm going to send you my number. And if you're serious about wanting to talk with me, then you text me and I'll text you. You call me out, we could talk or whatever. But we're not doing this in this app for 2 reasons. One, when I text you, I want to see when you read that. I want that red receipt on that say it was delivered or she read it at this time, right? And now if you take longer than 20, first off, if you take 24 hours, we got a problem. But like, I'm assuming you working, you might have some stuff going on. But if it take longer than 24 hours for you to get back to me, hey, I'm blocking you.
First and foremost.
because I wouldn't have thought in your mind for 24 hours, but you want to try to build a relate. Nah, I'm good.
I'm not gonna act like I don't be over here. Like, yo, I told you that I think that word sneaky link is a funny word.
See, yeah, but that's the thing.
But I'm gonna elaborate on that later. But
I'm not doing Insta. I hate that. When you be like, can I get your number? No, but you can have my Instagram. Nah. I said your number for a reason.
Nah. Like, first of all, I don't even
you trying to get your followers up. I'm trying to figure out who you is.
I ain't about to Netflix and chill nobody, because by now everybody should know I ain't giving nothing to nobody. No females, no.
I don't know. I ain't gonna say that much.
I ain't buying you a cheeseburger. I'm not buying you nothing.
If I was single, I might be Netflixing and chilling.
I ain't Netflixing and chilling, because you got to get in my bed, and that's my sanctuary.
No, you don't.
You ain't about to watch in my living room neither.
We're gonna sit on the couch and Netflix.
No,
we're gonna chill on the couch, and then you can chill right on out my house.
Nah, and then you know where I live too. Nah,
I can't be single as an adult with what I have right now.
Like, if I just put this into perspective, and you had this house and it was just you, no girl ain't finna come over here and Netflix and chill. You got way too much to. This is like a playground. Every day you just come in here and find something new to do.
I just don't like people in my house either. That's the biggest. So you right.
It's not even that much stuff on Netflix that you would watch with the female.
Oh, you a damn. I'm watching every day. About what you watching today? Seinfeld. You want to come watch it?
Exactly. What girl about to say yes?
That's how I know what your intentions are. What you watching? Seinfeld. Seinfeld? Yeah, come over. Come watch it.
You watching Married at First Sight?
If she say, yeah, I'll come over and watch it, I'll be like, you got devilish thoughts. Get out of here.
Really?
I am a Christian man.
Way you said that. Don't even. I'm watching anime and I'm trying to get into the plot, and you over here asking 42 questions.
Who is that? Out.
What they doing?
What he?
Who is this person?
Why is he throwing shooting stars? If I'm watching Seinfeld, I'm into it. F Netflix and chill.
That's what I'm at. Netflix and chill ain't even a thing, bro. Get out of my face. And I ain't even on Netflix like that. I'll be on Hulu. We need to find something for Hulu.
No. But Hulu and Hump. That's what it is. You go Hulu and Hump? Let's be more direct with it.
You sound more direct. I'm deceased. But yeah, man, that's just me. I'm not finna do all that. Oh no. That's me. I'm real selective and real picky. And that's just one of the things I'm picky about. If I'm talking to somebody, I'm good.
See, here's the real reason I can't Netflix and chill, because they'll come over and they'll be like, "What you want to watch?" And I'm gonna put on Love Is Blind, and they're gonna be like, "Who the hell am I chilling with right now?" Like, I feel like that's got to be an ick for like a first date or something. Like, what we watching? Love Is Blind. You serious? Yeah. What you gonna say? Ooh. Is it good to make a list on what you want out of the relationship and have them sign it?
Oh no, it's not an NDA, bro. So like you gotta just roll with it. I think we got so far as people that we've gotten away from actually understanding how a pursuit of a relationship works, and understanding that not everybody gonna cross all your boxes. So making a list essentially is like, yeah, cool, but what happens when they don't check every box, or they don't check stuff? Or you want somebody to just be a yes woman or a yes man, or you want somebody to genuinely have that spark or develop that love for you? I can tell you now, I tell people all the time, I know I wasn't none of my wife's types on her box whatsoever. First of all, because she ain't never met me. Second off, it's just she come from a different world than I did. So I'm bringing my world, and that was like coming through like a wrecking ball, just crashing everything. So that was different for her. But in that difference, she learned to love me, and she fell in love with me. And then that's how we got where we are today. So I can say the same thing. It's a lot of things that I probably had on my list, and I didn't anticipate her coming along with those things. So I wouldn't necessarily say make a list because she didn't check all my boxes. She checked the ones that mattered, though.
And yeah, that's important. I do think I think it's good to make a list, or at least have those expectations of what you want, because going into it blind and just finding out like, oh, I don't like this, I do like this, I don't like this. When you're in that relationship, you're gonna end up dating somebody that you shouldn't have never been in a relationship with. But I don't think you necessarily need to have them sign it. I don't even think you need to voice what your list is for that person, because they gonna naturally be who they are, right? So it's up to you to accept those flaws or those things that aren't checking off those boxes, or to say it's not something I can deal with, and be big enough to let them know like, hey, this does not work for me, and it's not working for me, and I got to move on. But I don't think you need to have them sign it. At that point, it feels like a job where you come into it and they're like, these are the expectations of the job, sign this, and that way if you're not meeting the expectations, we can let you go or something like that. And vice versa, Razvan. I think I always say this: my wife is the best wife for me. Duran's wife is the best wife for him, and I agree. Your wife is the best wife for you. So it's I don't look at it as a comparison, but I do look at it very much so that um, they bring out the better in us. And that's how you know you're with the right person. Regardless of if you feel like every once in a while there's those disagreements, how you handle it. But at the end of the day, do they bring out the best version of you, or are they bringing out the worst version of you?
That's true.
What Rosman said right here, or what I just said? Okay. Not voice it, but talk about it. Find out if your things align together. Communication. It falls back to that.
That's the thing, though. When they go back to our original topic about the age of marriage, people don't communicate. They think with their bodies.
They do, but that also is another reason why it feels like the online dating is such a hard thing, because when your first form of communication is I swiped left on this person, oh, I'm communicating through an app instead of verbally talking to somebody.
And even if you get to the physical dates, it's still bad, in my opinion, because when you look at it, like this generation is so fake. Everything about them is fake. Nothing is real. We got AI doing everything. We got everybody dying over TikTok, and TikTok influencing everybody to do the same exact thing.
Real quick. If anybody want to buy my phone for $10,000, I still got TikTok on it. FYI. All right, you can continue.
I'm dead. So everybody want to do the same thing everybody else is doing. Nobody want to be individual. Everybody's scared to stand out. Everybody's scared to make a difference. Everybody's scared to really be who they are. And then everybody is just, we on a bandwagon mentality. It's horrible. So one group of people get popular, then that's what everybody want to say they are. Everybody want to do or dress the same. Everybody want to buy the same thing.
But it's always been like that.
It ain't been like that as much as it is now. You could have your own identity about 10 years ago and still be all right. Now everybody got to have the same thing. Everybody got to have BBLs. Everybody got to have lip fillers. Everybody got to, every dude got to wear this. If you're not wearing Chrome Heart, you ain't got no money and stuff like that. Like, you got to be original. And that's what's wrong, is nobody don't know what it's like to just be you and have somebody like you. Everybody like what you're trying to be. Everybody likes this image. It looks nice. It looks pretty.
And that kind of leads back to what Razvan said earlier about like these dating websites. You're portraying yourself to be the best version of you. But But without having that like in person, I feel like a lot of times it's easily misleading. Right? When you're able to talk to somebody multiple times in person and see how they talk and how they act, I feel like it's easier to pick up those signs before you catch feelings. And that's the other thing. People catch feelings way too damn easy nowadays, man.
That's
way too
I wouldn't
easy.
even call them feelings. Like, bro, you just horny, dog. That's all that. Like,
Well,
you need to get that out.
there's horny, but I actually think people fall in love through apps. And then by the time they actually meet this person, they don't know who they really are.
And first of all, saying I love you to somebody that you just swiped on is just crazy. Or just like, I think the conversation level, the communication level was way too high, because it be up here and it need to be down here, because you just met this person and you already, I miss you so much, I can't wait to text you, and da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like the equivalent of leaving your toothbrush or something at that person's house.
Right.
But you could just do it instantly, because now you sending a message back and forth. And FaceTime been the biggest bandit of all this for the iPhone users.
I don't think people actually FaceTime though. Not when they
People FaceTime.
first talking like that.
Yes, they do. They FaceTime is the new standing on the phone till 4:00 in the morning. I literally witnessed this. My nephew just FaceTime my girl just on the phone. This boy sleep. I had to go in there, slap him, wake him up so he can finish his conversation or get off the phone. And I'm just hearing all the interactions in her background. I'm thinking somebody else in my house, and it's her background. They over there yelling outside her room. I'm like, what the heck?
Razvan said he does catch feelings easy if he thinks he has a treasure in front of him. But he does that in person after talking and connecting and knowing this is what he may want more from. And that's how he met his wife. And I think that's Razvan in a lot of cases, that's a rare situation. It's more often or not they catch feelings, they think they're in love, and then something happens where they're like, oh, forget him or F him or this or that. And it's just like, you didn't really know this person anyway. You just thought you loved this person because they told you all the right things through Christian Mingle.
It sounds good.
I don't know why I'm stuck on Christian Mingle right
It's okay. They're not sponsoring us, but in case they need a pick me up or y'all want a Netflix or chill,
I'll say another one. So yeah, because they like said all these sweet things through datedaddy.com. Like, it's just like, you knew you didn't know this person.
Date Daddy.
You know nothing.
I heard a GoDaddy.
Oh, that's a creating websites. I'll show you what it is later.
I don't think I want to know. But yeah, straight up. I mean that. And I don't even know if I'm making sense. I know a lot of times I speak in riddles and parables, or I water something down to the point to people not understanding what I'm saying, or the community not understanding what I'm saying. So if it ever gets to that point, somebody let me know so I can further elaborate. I got multiple personality disorder, so it's a lot going on in my head at once.
He's undiagnosed though. His doctor was like, "What's your name?" And he was like, "James." Then he came back 10 minutes later and was like, "What's your name?" He was like, "Duran." His doctor was like, "That's who I'm looking for."
But yeah, what else you got? Because my topics don't. I think they want to hear. They want to hear about that, and my stuff that I got ain't on that level. And this is a good time to throw in a segue to let y'all know, if you ever have a topic that you want us to talk about, you can always comment on the video. You can comment on the channel. You can DM us. However you feel like reaching out to us, we probably got that way of communication set up. So feel free to email us and get it out there. We would love to talk about these subjects so that it don't sound like it's just two dudes in the basement rambling. It's actually a podcast that we put a lot of work into, and we want to make sure that it's serving the purpose and the time that y'all spending to watch us. We appreciate it.
In my defense, right? I don't do dating sites. So Christian Mingle, Date Daddy, Underground Daters. Like those are the ones that I've always heard about.
You ain't never been on Jinx? You know what? While he's talking about this, remember when we got on that one website in Mr. Gibbons' class, and it was like Facebook and MySpace?
It was like one of the first social media ones where you could like create.
Yeah, where you had a profile. And remember that girlfriend requested me? That was a whole grown woman. She was gonna kidnap me. I'm pretty sure that was a dude. And if I would have just been dumb enough to just be writing
Chris
back,
Hansen.
dumb
was
enough to
setting you
write
up.
back, you know, I think that they said they was Hawaiian and everything. They had pictures on the beach. We don't stay near no beaches. The time
Hey.
where you live at? And I'm like, oh, stay here. But I ain't never say that like that. I would have been gone. I wouldn't even have been here today. So that's a perfect example why you don't get on dating apps.
Without saying names, remember when one of the guys we hung out with put a picture of Chris Brown as his profile picture and told all these girls he looked like Chris Brown?
Yeah, he got to come on here.
I feel like we gotta have him on here.
We got to have him because that was wild. We straight confronted him.
And then we
told
said
him about that.
We was like, hey, it was like, why you got Chris Brown picture as you on your thing? He was like, no, I don't. And then he tried to hurry up and get on there.
And y'all had them cricket phones that slide up, so y'all already had a picture.
We had a picture, we had a video.
Yo, why was we all on all of that? That's crazy. I wish I knew what the name of it was. Now I want to see if it's still up. Like, what was we doing?
Roswell said he was trying to download the Punisher movie off of LimeWire, and it ended up being 2 Girls, 1 Cup. This generation
so
will
sorry
never
that you had to experience that because we all had the same exact reaction you had.
That is up there with World Trade Center stuff that we survived through. We survived through 2 Girls, 1 Cup.
That was just diabolical because I don't even know. That's back when that stuff was just completely unfiltered and uncensored because there was no reason for that to have spread as far as it did.
It was. And we were young.
We were super young. Oh my gosh. And the fact that we were so disgusted, but yeah, we watched that was crazy.
Oh man.
Not one of our best moments. That is
LimeWire.
Was it worth giving all those computers herpes? Bro, they had a whole side hustle or a business off of that. We was burning CDs.
We was burning CDs,
passing them out. We had people who passed the CDs out, and we was burning on the computer. Sounding like it's finna blow up just to download 10 songs.
See, Roswell talking about downloaded unwanted stuff. There was stuff I purposely downloaded and tried to hide on the computer. I had 17 folders that you had to go through before you got to the stuff I downloaded from LimeWire.
No, he didn't. He lying. You didn't. That wasn't you.
Now I'm being honest.
That wasn't you.
There was 17 folders. And I remember the day my mama found. I remember the day my mama went through all of that damn folders and got to it and asked me, what is this? And I said, I don't know.
You mean how you clicked through my folders on my computer that one day for no reason?
I remember that too.
And I named all my folders. And you still clicking through them, and I was just so confused as to why you decided to do that. We wasn't even there that long. We was leaving. Why did you?
He was like, "Do not open these. Each folder is named that folders. I promise you, you don't want to see what's here. Please." And then you open that last one, and it's 14 videos in there. You're like, "Damn, Durant."
It's crazy. Shouldn't have did that. That's my stuff.
LimeWire was killing everybody's computer.
Nah, you was committed if you downloaded LimeWire, then FrostWire, and then BearShare.
Oh yeah,
you weren't committed unless you went through the.
Because after a while, LimeWire it didn't pull up any more torrents for you, so you had to go to FrostWire, and then that one got blocked, and then you had to go to BearShare, and then by that point, you was just like, all right, there's ways to get videos off YouTube.
Like, yo. That's when YouTube started really getting traction though. Back then, LimeWire, You was getting music at first, and then
Only
you start
14
getting
videos?
movies.
That's weak.
They was pictures, and I only had 2 videos. I'll be honest. I had 2 videos and 14 pictures because I was
Did anybody else do the trick where you, as soon as your LimeWire stuff stopped downloading, you immediately like unplug the internet so that because in your mind it was like, oh, they can't catch me now.
like, bro, the damage is done. You got your IP address if they really want you. Yeah, I didn't learn about torrents until I was grown.
I will say this: I don't still use them because I legally get everything now. Like, because a lot of programs are what do I want to say, like cloud versions where it updates automatically and you get the most up to date. Like I legally pay for some of it now, or at least the ones that I use,
bro.
But for the longest time, Pirate Bay.
America is a funny place to live because we the only place that you have a garage sale and people will spend money and go from house to house and buy DVDs and VHS tapes when you could just live stream all of that stuff now.
Yeah.
In hopes that you're going to sell it and collect enough. And by the time you collect them, now you just became a hoarder because you just got all this stuff that you're really not going to sell. It's just nostalgic.
Why are you calling them a whore?
Because it's this person right now who got a basement full of VHS tapes or DVDs, and they ain't going to do nothing with them. They're never going to sell them, and they ain't going to do anything, and they just depreciating in value.
I legally pay for it, but it may not be legal. I haven't had cable since 2012, and I don't miss it.
I ain't had cable for a hot minute either. Whenever Google Fiber came to Kansas is when I officially had cable as a full-blown adult in my name and not nobody else's or borrowing. And I paid for it. It was cool. But I just got tired of paying for it and I cut it off. And that's been the best decision ever. I mean, it sucks not seeing some stuff live, you know.
I still see everything live, and I ain't got
some stuff though. Like, I'm not a big TV person, but my wife is. So some stuff she don't get to see. So she don't go out her way on these streaming services or these places to watch like the Oscars or watch, BET Awards and stuff like that, or watch news.
Rosvan said he got a basement full of DVDs that he burnt. Hey man, I can say this honestly, I have never burnt my own DVD because they were $5 inside a Midway shopping center. So we just go in there, see who had the best quality DVDs at the time, and then we just buy from them. And they for sure and this is the crazy part, they were literally right down the street from a police station and selling bootleg DVDs like it ain't nothing. 3-4 shops in there. They probably still do that.
Nah, they didn't get replaced by stuff far greater. But pay-per-view, I ain't heard pay-per-view in a minute. But what kind of cable you got?
I do watch some things on pay-per-view.
They still do pay-per-view?
Yeah.
That's crazy because remember when we was watching pay-per-view,
We don't want to know anything about that app, Ross.
Sir, matter of fact, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Right. We don't do anything illegal.
I'm to the point where I can say I'm so old that I remember when TV wouldn't let you go up in the upper channels because you wasn't supposed to be static. There. It was supposed to be, they didn't have nothing up there. Why was you on channel 6,000? Why did DirecTV go up that high? And then when you actually get somewhere, you realize why. And I'm just like, yo. Or you cut on the hotel. I remember the first time I got a hotel when I was 17. I stayed there. I thought I was doing something. It was a rinky-dink hotel. Why wouldn't I cut the TV on? There was some actual action on the TV.
Let me ask you some questions about this hotel.
See,
was it on State Avenue?
Yes.
then I'm pretty sure I know exactly what hotel you talking about.
Yeah, I wasn't even old enough to get it, but they saw we was cool and we weren't no troublemakers, and I had cash, so they was down bad.
So, listen, my dad came up here one year, actually for my graduation, and he told me I was looking at hotels. I was trying to send him links of different hotels by the house, and he was like, "Oh, I've stayed at that hotel before in Houston, so go ahead and book it." I said, "Do you want to see pictures of it? Do you want to see it?" And he was like, "No, it's good. Book it." So I booked this hotel for him.
Why you do that to him?
I knew what it was, right?
Why
But
you,
he did not listen to me, and so I booked it
so
for
you
him.
taught him a lesson, booked it for him.
I booked it for him. He got up here. I took him to that hotel. He looked at me and said, "Mike, what is this?" I said, "I told you to look at the hotel." He said, "Oh man, Mike, this man, what you done put me into? I'm a pastor." This man got out. He said he's gonna give it a try. The prostitutes out front was not a deterrent for him, right? The drug dealers out front was not a deterrent for him. The fact that we turned on the TV and same thing that you got, there was action on the TV. He said, "Oh no, turn that off, turn it off." We hurried up and turned that off. Not a deterrent for him. The deterrent for him was when he went to the closet to go hang his clothes up. They did not have a bar for him to hang his stuff up. And this man said, "Oh no, I can't hang my clothes up. We going to another hotel."
I'm dead. I'm dead. Not. I didn't even know it had a name. I was just shocked because I'm over here. I'm over here trying to spit my little game to my lady. I'm like, yeah, let's cut the TV on, see some. I was like, oh snap!
He was like, "Oh, you setting the mood for? I could set the mood."
Wait a minute, sir, I wasn't even trying to do that. Like, sir, wait a minute.
You a damn lie.
You several steps ahead of me.
I was gonna wait at least an hour. Let me get the strawberries and chocolate out or something. Damn.
Oh man, this guy. We're gonna talk about Bruno.
He's coming back up next year, so everybody will get to see him on the podcast. We're gonna go live again with him. He was on there last
Matter of
time.
fact,
too.
go check him out. He was actually on 4 or 5 episodes that we posted, so you definitely get to hear him go back and forth with us. He thoroughly enjoyed,
and you will also see that my vocal express, like my voice of him, is actually how he talk. He's country, he Texas,
country. You Texas.
I've been here long enough. I lost a Texas accent. Certain words kick in, but for the most part, I'm like Kansas City.
And that's because you try to use your other voice that you got stuck in.
Nah, I'm not stuck in it.
GG. Anyways, how y'all liking the podcast so far? Y'all drop some comments in there and let us know.
I will say tonight ain't gonna be a 4-hour episode like last time.
Nah.
Mostly because it's 1 o'clock in the morning. We started like 2 hours late. So.
Oh shit. What I got on the dossier questions was. You know what? I just realized I didn't even share our stuff, bro. While I'm doing that, though, talk to me.
Yeah, we all 34. Accents are another topic. That Razvan, that falls perfectly on you. Razvan has an accent, but I feel like it's different with your accent because we can still understand you. There's been some accents that people done talked. I couldn't understand anybody, anything they said. If you go to Louisiana, I swear to you, certain parts of Louisiana, you don't understand a single word they said. My first time down there visiting family, I had a cousin walk up to me and I promise you, he said, "You want to go to the park, yeah?" I said, "Huh? You want to go to the park, yeah?" I said, the only thing I understood was, yeah. Oh, I said, "You want to go to the park, yeah?" Okay, y'all playing with me, right? My dad go, Mike. He asked if you want to go to the park with him. I said, damn, that's what he said. Okay. Uh, so yeah, I ended up going to the park. 2 days later, I found myself talking like them. Do not spend that long in the it's a real southern ass space when the whole street is named after like the family last name and who live on that street, just that family.
That is wild. I don't think
And it
I've
ain't because you
ever.
got money. It's just that's your family street. Your family is the only people who live there. Y'all all got trailers. They nice. Roswell said he went to Cancun and he wasn't getting it either. Me speaking with accent.
All right, I had to pause too because I had to look up an accent. I forgot where they was from. Baltimore accents are crazy. They legitimately can't talk. Them and people from Louisiana. So I agree with you.
Be more.
Yeah, they can't say certain stuff.
I don't know if I've ever heard a Baltimore accent.
You have. They be struggling with basic words like you. They put an extra U in it. It's kind of like UK, but not UK.
What you doing tomorrow?
Like, bro, when they talk, I'm trying to tell you. I was like, what language he speaking?
Oh man. Let's see. Rosvar said best movie you watched. If we talking horror movie, I really like the movie Devil. When they was on the elevator.
Oh my god.
I really like it. I like the suspense behind it. I like the story behind it.
Bro, it was this is my synopsis, so y'all don't bear with me. If you've never seen the movie, I can explain it real quick, super quick. So people got on the
Without giving it away.
Nah, I gotta give it away. Some people got on the elevator. The devil was there. A Mexican dude started noticing random signs in the security office to foreshadow what was gonna happen on the elevator, and it happened.
People started dying. The elevator stopped.
Elevator stopped. People started dying one by one.
When the lights would flicker off and come back on, somebody be dead, and they were trying to figure out.
And then my man
who
would
was
get
the devil.
He would get a sign in the box office. And oh no, the peanut butter and jelly sandwich is upside down. That's a sign for it. And then somebody would die in the elevator until they got to the end, and the devil was like, "Boom, shakalaka, here I am."
The wild part is like, what was you gonna do even if you figured out who the devil was?
That's crazy. I don't even know how we even deduced. They deduced that the devil had to be involved based off of how these people was dying. And let me tell y'all, they was in a little bitty elevator too, not no one that got space.
6 of them in
there
there?
was 6 people. So when one person died, that was like already a third of the space gone. So now you got 4 people laid out, viciously dismantled all over the floor in this elevator. Diabolical.
I liked it. I think
I don't think it was a
suspense-wise,
bad
that's one of
movie.
that's a good movie that I really like. If we talking just comedy, you're gonna hate this, I'm sure, but I think Step Brothers is like my favorite movie.
Why would I hate that? Step Brothers is
I
a
feel like
classical movie.
I thought you didn't like Will Ferrell.
What? Who told you that?
My bad.
Guess what?
that
You got a
might
drum set? I got a drum set too. Okay. On 3, favorite bands. But my favorite movie, or one of the ones I thoroughly enjoyed, was Now You See Me, Now You Don't. I like those movies.
That was a good one. Razvan said he's watching Power. Okay. So are you watching like original Power? Are you watching book 2 or book 3?
Are you watching the spinoff series, or are you watching the actual Power?
Yeah.
They say this is a big rich town. I just happen to come apart. He said
bright
all
lights,
of
city lights. I gotta make it. This is where it goes down. Okay. Let's not get us muted. You guys gotta do these topics and add like videos to the podcast at Twitch and other platforms. So all of our episodes actually do have videos on them.
And then we do have a Twitch.
If you watch them on YouTube or on Spotify, then you'll see the actual video that's with it. Outside of that, Apple Podcasts don't let you do video, so it's just the audio of it. At some point, hopefully they'll catch up to it. But we do have a Twitch too, so right now we're streaming on YouTube, on Twitch, on Facebook.
However, I do know what you mean. We could definitely have another screen up, and we could share that screen so that other people can see it. And so maybe you all be able to see like the video. So if we like fact check something or look something up, we can have the criteria up for y'all to see if everybody would like to indulge in that.
Like screen share?
Yeah.
I could do that. I just don't know if everybody want to see what's on my computer.
But that's what he's saying. So he like have a video and then comment, or like he's watching a movie or something like that, or it's a clip.
Doing some wild clips, cutted clips, memes. Yeah, okay.
Well, duly noted.
Rosman said, now you speaking my language. Now you speaking my language.
Why you playing fussies with me, bro? The camera's on. Wait till the camera go off.
Don't believe this guy.
Like,
I don't know. You know what? We honestly haven't tested that out.
Real easy. Real easy.
I feel like we gonna dive into this. All right, you do present. What's the screen sharing tips appear?
It's gonna share everything on your desktop. So that means that you need to hide those 17 folders that you're talking about.
Hide them. I'm sure Rosvan's seen it all. Okay, it lets me choose the tab.
Okay, so now pick those 3 ones that say that they incognito, because those are my tabs. Let's pick the other tabs.
Window, entire screen. I don't want to do. Whoa, buddy. Woo. Damn it, Rosvan, you got me. That's exactly what I was about to share. What about 3 girls, 2 cups? Have you seen that one? Also, I feel like is this gonna get us caught up?
No, why would it get us caught up? People watch movies and commentate on it. It's still original because we're not pushing it off as our own.
Yeah, we might have to go live next week and just have some videos to react to for the week. What's hot? What's going on this week?
Pull up an episode of Dave Chappelle. We can just throw it up there now, and we can comment on something. Do the Mad Real World.
I feel like if we're gonna comment on anything, it has to be this Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
I'm too scared. I'm scarred for life already. He had a cousin that was coming over to America, but he told him, hey, I saw this video, two girls, 1 cup, and they were like, you know what? I'm going to stay here.
You're going to do the actual screen?
No, I wanted to just share that page. There we go.
Everybody says at the top. You're going to get ads, though, because you want your cash in.
All right, let's see how we look in here.
Let's see how this looks. Look at us doing live experiments. This is crazy.
Okay. Don't look bad. Don't look terrible.
Everybody be asking me, man, does the Bluetooth actually work?
Bro, you get a month for free.
You get a month of Bluetooth for free, y'all.
These are all influencers that I follow.
Hey, it's your girl Arlette, and welcome to another episode of Pop the Balloon or Find Love. In front of me are 8 beautiful single ladies.
First of all, let's pause the video.
I'm going to bring
right
some
there.
eligible bachelors around the corner one by one.
No, you got to do it on the girls. I had a comment about the girls. So first of all,
In front of me are
right
8
there, what does she got on, bro?
Which-
she got on
which
some
one?
boots and a body outfit, and she looked like a worm. Her belt looked like it's further down than it need to be. It's the second girl.
So here you looking at her.
And
I'm
you
looking at the one
the
next
third-
to her
Oh,
with the
but it get progressively worse as we go over.
every single time it gets worse. Well, I feel like the girl with the boots probably is the second most normal looking up there. Because the girl at the end with the cheetah print dress or whatever, I feel like she looked like she might really be on the show. I don't know what the hell the lady next to her wearing, but the girl with the overalls or whatever that is and the green eggs and ham top,
Not the green eggs and ham.
we got a problem.
Man, she got heels on, and they like boot cut.
So Razvan, here's the thing. We're working on figuring out like having dual cameras so that we can do the green screen thing. But right now the way it's set up with the camera and how far it is away from us, it doesn't allow us to put a green screen like really behind us and actually work.
Right, we can't drop the video in the background and then green screen it to where it's behind us.
We would have
Basically
to
like
move
us.
up to the camera,
Mhm.
and I can't do that. But back to our video real quick, because this one I feel like
beautiful
This about
single
to be
ladies.
real bad.
I'm going to bring some eligible bachelors around the corner one by one. If he's your type, you like what he's working with, don't pop that balloon. But if he's just not it, don't be shy. Pop that
Why she
thing,
look
okay?
like the lady who
Let's
do
bring
this
out our
too?
first single guy.
I don't know.
Hey there, ladies. My name's Phil. I'm 31.
Did,
Damn.
did you do an actual one or is this a skit one?
No, this is it. This is a skit.
oh,
the Dave
that's-
Chappelle one.
bro.
My boy
man,
had
as soon as
zero
As soon as he
chance.
took a breath, so he was like,
Oh man.
I love to cook.
Damn. They ain't give him
Wow,
a
that
chance.
was almost everyone. Why'd you pop it, Christy?
He said he likes to cook, and I really don't like the smell of food. Sorry.
Oh, but Marie, you still got your balloon.
Yeah, he seems like he let me cheat on him, and I like that.
wow.
No way.
And you know what? I believe
No
that.
way.
As a skit, I believe that though.
He seems like he'll let me cheat on. Yeah,
He would.
He
would.
He would.
He would.
He ain't got no
He-
self-respect.
He ain't finna yell at you. He ain't finna yell at you. He'll be disappointed, but he ain't finna yell at you.
All right.
I will. Come on.
I will.
All right, ladies, say hello to your next single, Devon.
Hey, I would pop my
My
balloon. I
name
ain't got
Devon.
one for that outfit
I
he
don't
got
really
on.
work like that. You know what I'm saying? I be on the game. I'm looking
Oh,
for a baddie who quiet, thick, and loyal. Because I'm not.
Hey,
Listen,
he straight.
He's communicating from the beginning.
Yeah. He's like, hey, you got to be loyal, even though I ain't really doing that with my life. Because
Look.
I ain't loyal.
I don't work like that. I play the game all day. You got to do everything, and I cheat.
Hey, they gonna keep the balloons
Wow,
out.
no
That's a
pops.
catch.
That's actually wild. What's going on over here, Michelle?
I don't know. He got aura. He's cute.
Yeah, say less. Come on, let's go.
No, he ain't got nobody else. to say.
Right.
Hello, beautiful. My name is Jamone, as in make you Jamone.
Thank you.
I am a brand and
Hey, why he cut
entertainment
out a
impresario.
tie and wear it like that as a scarf?
Ready for the
My
next
boy look
man?
like the
Meet
dude from,
Silky.
Coming to America.
Thank you all there.
Ow! Silky, they shooting.
Sweet day and salutations, ladies. My name is Silky Johnson. A little bit about me. I'm a purveyor of precious goods and services, i.e., bitches.
I'm sorry, are you some sort of sex trafficker?
I don't do traffic. I take helicopters, bitch. And
Hey,
as
why
for you,
your mouth
that
fall
coat
out
right
of
there
the
looks
balloon?
like your skin to grouch.
Horrible bitches make horrible decisions.
And you, tangerine's not your color, and there's something in your belly button. Made you look. And it's
You did
this
look
one
though.
here.
Oh,
He wasn't even there. He just walked up literally.
Chipmunk. Do me a favor and hand this woman another balloon.
Ow!
Sassy mouth. Good day, ladies.
Let's meet our last guy, Larry.
Ain't no way.
They brought Ashley Larry
I'll
back.
wrap this up before I pass away.
I can't believe all y'all bitches popped the balloon on me. I'm going back to the streets.
Ah, snap. That's crazy. Well, it's just a trial. It's just a trial to see how it's going to turn out. I'm real curious to see how it looks. So when we play it back, we'll see how it looks because I don't like how the setup looks right here.
I don't mind it. I feel like we could also probably.
You could probably do picture in picture. Do the last one. Nah, the very, very last one. What does that do?
Yeah, that's probably the
It's
better
probably
way
the
to
best
do it.
one.
Because I think we were doing it on the side, and
Yeah, we're doing.
if we had other guests on here watching with us or just talking with us, that this would probably work better. But I mean, this ain't bad. Now, I don't really let us drag where it go. It just kind of chooses a spot. But if we're not doing it live, there is a way that we could do all of that. So we might have to look into that. But yeah, I think
that was a little adventure.
That was. I think now's a good time to call it a night. We're
Yeah.
gonna dive into this a little bit more. We might have to start putting some reaction videos out there, seeing how things go. But Razvan, man, we appreciate the support, bro.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see where everything goes. But thank you for commenting to Razvan and the many other people that popped in the view. We try to get better and better each time. We try to get more funny, be more open, be more honest. We got tons of stories to share. It's just a matter if y'all want to hear them or not. And tons of some things y'all can't know. You just can't know.
Yeah, there's some Green Van Chronicles that I don't know if I'll be able to tell many of those, just because if you wasn't there, it's hard to. It's too many people involved, and if you wasn't there, you
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But on that
note, y'all make sure y'all like, follow, comment, subscribe. X, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. We do have an Instagram. Yes, we do have a TikTok that we locked out of and kind of can't get into, especially with all the stuff that's going on. But hey, if you still in there and you find us, make it happen, Captain. We do got reels on our YouTube. We do have shorts, whatever you want to call them. We have those. We have videos. We have just the podcast. We got Spotify. We got Apple Podcast. Check us out.
Peace.
Peace.